Last week, I bought an Aprilia RSV 1000cc superbike at auction for just £52. Well, it was most of a superbike anyway, because I don't think there was enough parts there to consider it an entire superbike. This bike is not only missing the fairings, it's missing radiator, intake, exhaust, brakes, brake calipers, missing the brake levers, brake master cylinder, ignition coils. So missing the chain, lower fairings, or side panels, whatever they are called. Missing coolant bottles, tank is damaged. As you can see, it was pretty terrible, and I put the video out there for all to see what I bought. And a lot of you who watched the video had a lot of ideas about what I should do with it. Lots of you suggested I part it out and make a profit on it. Some of you suggested stick the money and the time into it and have a good bike that I might make some money on in the back end. And quite a few of you told me I'm an absolute idiot and I shouldn't have bought it because it was a pile of junk. And obviously somebody had already stripped it for parts, so it was basically worthless. The fate of the bike has been decided and my gamble paid off because I have sold the bike already and I made a profit on it. I didn't really see it as a gamble anyway because at £52, it was worth that all day long. I knew I was going to make some money on it. I just didn't know which way it was going to go or how much I was going to make on it. For a brief moment, I had hopes that I might actually be able to rebuild that thing and put it back on the road. But that hope very quickly disappeared after going online and looking at the price of parts to replace everything that was missing on it. It was just astronomical. I do not have the financial resources to put that Aprilia back on the road. Plan B was to sell the bike, and that is exactly what I did. I listed it on Facebook Marketplace for a very cheeky 350 quid, and someone actually was interested and came around and bought it within a day of it being online. I'm really glad that it sold quickly because plan C was to break the bike and get money for whatever parts were left on it. I mean, the wheels were pretty good, the tyres were good, so there was definitely money to be made on it either way, but I do not like breaking bikes or breaking any vehicle because it means the good parts sell quickly and the rest of them leave sitting around, and obviously I've got enough broken junk sitting around in here, I don't need any more. I am apologetic to anyone who watched the last video and was hoping that I would keep it on the channel as a long-term rebuild, but unfortunately I just do not have the financial resources to save that bike. I know I could have kept it at 52 quid and just done a part here and a part there, but you know, that would have made for okay content, but obviously you want to see me doing a bunch of things in one go, so it just wasn't really viable. So I sold it and I did make a bit of a profit, which I'll tell you about in just a minute. Before I tell you about how much profit I made on that bike, I just want to take a minute to thank everybody who watched the last video and watches all my other videos, and everybody who has subscribed to this channel over the last 13-14 months that I've been doing this, because you're really helping me to build the channel by subscribing and coming on every week to watch what I'm up to. So I really want to thank everyone who's along for the journey. I really appreciate it. Now, the guy who bought the Aprilia from me had seen my last video, so he knew exactly what I paid for that bike, and he saw it for sale on Facebook at my cheeky price of £350 or nearest offer, and he came round, had a look at the bike and made me an offer of £250, which leaves me with a tidy profit of just under 200 quid on that bike, which is really not bad considering I didn't even wash it before I put it up for sale. Just before he came round to view the bike, I did try to turn the engine over one last time. Now, I know a lot of you said I was doing it wrong in the last video, and to be fair, I was. I mean, I tried to start it with speaker wire, but I did actually put my jump pack, which is here, directly on the cables, the same as I did in the previous video, which you'll see now. For some reason with a big booster pack it didn't turn over, and lots of you said take the spark plugs out, etc, etc, but I mean the exhaust was off, so there shouldn't have really been any compression anyway. However, I put that booster pack on it and the engine did actually turn over, and it turned over for a few revolutions. Unfortunately I didn't get it on camera, but the guy who bought it did see, I showed him that it does turn over, so he was pretty happy. The guy who bought the bike off me sadly will not be repairing it and putting it back on the road. He's going to be taking parts off of it for his own build, which does make me a bit sad that it's not going to be going back on the road, but it does make me happy that he's going to be using parts off it to get another bike on the road. So I can live with that. That makes me happy. And I know a £200 profit, it's not going to change my life, it's not going to make me a rich man, but it does give me a little bit of extra cash to put back into the channel and to work on all the other things that I've still got going on this channel. Specifically, the FZ back there that everybody is so keen to see me get on with, because the paintwork for that is adding up to be pretty expensive just to do that one panel. Paintwork aside, it does mean I got a bit of money to order some replacement parts for the parts that are broken on this bike other than the panel. I also get some materials and some things or parts to start finishing the pit bike rebuild. And I got a whole new series coming to the channel with that little thing back there that I will tell you about all in another video with that thing. But hopefully it is the direction and the future of this channel, or at least part of the channel, with that thing back there. I know this video is a lot of me rambling on and not actually doing anything, but quite a lot of you in the comments said you'd like to see any update or any progress with this bike, and you'd like to know the outcome. And obviously I try to keep this channel totally transparent with everyone. You know, I've told you what I paid for the bike, I told you what I've sold with the bike, and I've even told you where the money is going to go from the bike. So I hope that's enough of an update for everyone. Normal business will resume next week. I will be either back to buying and selling things, or I will be back to working on the Yamaha back there if my carb rebuild kit ever shows up, because I am dying to get that thing going, but I am just waiting on that rebuild kit before I can take those carbs off and get that beast running. I hope this video was a sufficient update on the future of the, or not future of the Aprilia, and I hope you've enjoyed my ramblings. I hope that the next time I buy a heap of junk, you trust that there is method in my madness, because sometimes I do actually know what I'm doing, believe it or not. If you have enjoyed my ramblings, then make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you think I done alright on that Aprilia deal, considering I done absolutely nothing other than pick the bike up, then please let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video when things are back to normal.